Alright, hi guys. We're going to be presenting a stakeholder analysis today on GoPro. I'm Rachel Ruberg.
I'm Daniela Frega.
Austin and I.
Chase Goebel.
Robert Lopez, and here's a visual representation of today's agenda, which includes our key stakeholders, including the major shareholders, our partners, shipping employees and shipping services, along with competitors and the consumers.
So the situation is GoPro is looking to expand internationally, and we want to make sure that our stakeholders have a positive outcome because of it. And the CEO of GoPro said that it's important that we arrive prepared and that we would have a positive impact on GoPro around the nation.
GoPro's major stakeholders shareholders are interested in the overall success of the company, mainly because of the return they get, the benefit, and some of the components they look at when analyzing the company are share price and the company's portfolio. With GoPro trying to expand internationally, these will be directly affected. Some of the main shareholders include Nick Woodman, Redwood Incorporation, and Foxtech. Nick Woodman is the CEO and founder of GoPro. He owns 49% of the company. His goals and aspirations originally were to create a brand, an action camera brand, but now that now that his camera went public, his plans changed to build a media empire now. So that's his goals and aspirations. And for Foxtech, they own 10% of the company. So their aspirations, they make the software and hardware for GoPro. So in order to maintain a stable relationship, we have to continue to expand into new international markets, as well as Redwood Incorporation. We have to also continue to expand into the international market.
Okay, so for our consumers, we had two different types: our potential and our current customers. So our current customers were already happy with the easy user-friendly design, and we wanted to keep that with the international customers. But while expanding, we wanted to be able to show the international customers that we were getting footage of their home and how much that this camera can do, while keeping the current customers happy by showing them the potential of where they could go and what their camera can do when they travel abroad. And I think in the user, GoPro is constantly trying to update their design and keep it user friendly so that anyone at any entry level can use their product.
And so another stakeholder to consider is the competitors. What's unique about GoPro in a competition sense is that they're kind of a smaller sector in a larger market. So not only do they face competitors in the digital camera market, but specifically in this action wearable mounted camera. So that creates a smaller competition within a larger competition. Some of their current competitors include Sony, Ion, Garmin, Polaroid, and all of these competitors need to be considered. So one of the things that GoPro needs to consider about them if they expand globally is these competitors are going to have to raise their competition because GoPro is going to increase their sales and have a higher amount of customers. So these companies are going to have to be more flexible with staying competitive, and they're going to have to make changes in possibly prices. It can push them to expand globally, and it can also push them to be more innovative in order to stay competitive with GoPro if they decide to go abroad. So given these changes, you can kind of separate the two competitors into international competitors and U.S. competitors. So as for you, international competitors, they're going to face a culture shock if GoPro comes into a different country. That international competitor, such as Solgar, which is a company based in Japan that produces cameras, they're going to have to make an effort to understand the U.S. culture behind GoPro so that they can compete with them, as well as their competitors in the U.S. If they decide to expand globally, they're going to have to face, as well as GoPro, they're going to face challenges of can they advertise to different cultures and understanding the general business practices within the competition of that country. And then lastly, it's going to be GoPro's responsibility to keep a fair market share if they expand globally. So currently, GoPro owns 42% of the camera unit market, whereas Sony and Ion only own 12 and 8%. So if GoPro expands globally, they're going to need to make all of their statistics, their business statistics globally public so that those companies are aware of what's going on as GoPro so that they can stay competitive.
All right. And in regards to the shipping services and employees, them being the middleman between the consumers and the company, it is very critical for us to consider their needs and wants as well. As GoPro really values their prompt shipping, which is a one-day shipping or 6 to 8 business days for international shipping, it is really, as I mentioned, critical for the current speeds to remain during this expansion process. And in order to maintain those speeds, we decided to offer incentives to these employees, such as overtime and higher product discounts. And we believe that these would be incentives enough in order for them to maintain working at the current speeds. And with this in mind, it will keep a positive image within our own company and its employees as far and positive external perspective as well, since we do offer these incentives to our employees. And we believe that by offering these incentives, it will just create it will potentially ensure quality service control throughout the entire supply chain.
Another thing to take into consideration is partnerships. Obviously, expanding globally is going to have a huge impact on GoPro. And we're partnered with high-tech companies such as Microsoft and YouTube. And we want to have a positive image on them. For instance, if software is not working, that could be a negative impact upon Microsoft. And so we want to take into consideration that. Another one is Red Bull. And Red Bull sponsors high athletes around the world that travel. So we think it'll have a positive impact for Red Bull in the international market.
GoPro is a company that relies heavily on their stakeholders. In order to make them happy, we have to fulfill their wants and needs. When expanding internationally, we realize that all these stakeholders, such as partners, shipping services employees, competition, and consumers will all be affected in a different way compared to in the United States. So through effective communication and different strategies, we look forward to fulfilling their wants and needs. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions? I have a question. So this graphic that you have up here, all of the stakeholders are at different heights. Is that in order of importance? So stakeholders.
Yeah, we identified the highest one as the most important, and it goes down.
Okay. So so you're saying the consumers are the least important of the stakeholder groups?
Actually, I wasn't aware that it was set up like that.
Yeah, I didn't say
I don't know,
that.
Chase
I see it as
uses that.
different visual representation to just give you different, see different color, because I didn't know if color was going to be able to distinguish between the different boxes.
Sure.
For the partnership, so there's no succession order.
Okay. All right. If you had to identify one of the stakeholder groups as the most important, which would be then?
Personally, I think the shareholders, they have a huge stake in the company and they'll be directly affected on whatever